Oh, the one thing that's great about grandparents is that, we have become very knowledgeable and, very smart. And the reason being is every generation, every 10 years or so, we make so many mistakes, we learn from them. So as
Yes.
we get older, we get wiser. And as we get wiser, that's why we have to be involved in raising of all these little kids, because we need to take that knowledge of all the mistakes we have made and relay that and teach them the new thing, how to do things right. And that's the balancing act that we as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles have to do.
And the grandparents have such a big impact. I'm just grateful that my sons were had my mom and my stepfather to help be great role models because, like you said, they're much wiser and they have a different perspective as the parent. They're not gonna, they make it, I saw that as they made it more fun with the kids rather than the parent me sometimes, so it makes sense. You got homework and make sure you're doing all that kind of stuff and play, and but they made it so much fun for them. And I don't know how old your grandkids were, but or are, excuse me, my sons are adults now. I'm not a grandparent yet, so I don't know, when that would happen, but I've seen it. My sister is a grandparent though, and she wants to help her kids take care of their children, and I think that's what you're doing with this book. They're learning from her. She's also a teacher as well, so she knows how to deal with kids in general. That's what she was trying to do.
So my grandkids are now 2 through 9 years old, so they're still
Okay.
young. But talk about grandparents. There's a real issue with grandparents. 30% of grandparents are classified as remote. And this means and that's one out of every three of us. That means that they're really not involved in the raising of their grandkids.
Yes.
And they may show up on a birthday every once in a while. They may go to Christmas every once in a while, but that's it. They think about of the baby boomers of today, one out of three of us were not involved. And so you kind of say, what is wrong with this baby boomer generation that just were not involved in raising this next generation? Again, we got to pass on this knowledge, and a third of us
Yes.
aren't doing it. You know, grandparents are as crucial to a child's development as parents are. Because of all the things you just said, they add a different layer of information. But
Right.
many times, the reason the grandparents are not involved with the raising of their grandkids is because of their relationship with their own children. They may not have liked the spouse they married. Okay, so all of
Ah,
a
yeah.
sudden, they're isolated. They're not involved in that. They may be giving unsolicited advice, by telling the parents, which are their kids, what to do. All of a sudden, their kids don't want to get them involved in that. They may disrespect the boundaries by just showing up unannounced. Here I am. So we as grandparents cause a lot of these problems. When you think about it, undermining the parent's authority by challenging what a
Yeah.
parent is teaching them. Grandparents question the values of what their children are teaching their grandchildren. That causes stress. That causes us grandparents
Right.
not getting involved. Tendency to play favorites and manipulate statements. All of us, we will not say this out loud and we will not share it with anyone, but all of us have favorites. These grandkids
Yes.
just do.
Yes.